Hi, Farhan. Thank you so much for coming on my
Thank you,
channel.
Chetan.
Thank you so much.
I,
Just
I
so
said
to
it before. I said it before, but I'll say it again. You're looking really well,
thank you so
which is
much.
good to see.
We are all trying to be 10% of what you have achieved, I must say. Let me just begin with this. I can't get past this. So I'm going to share this with you. And we have to talk about this. I know I should be introducing you and all, but everybody knows you.
Yeah,
So,
that's okay.
guys, this is Farhan. Come on. If you don't know, I mean, come on. That's not
Google it.
possible. Google
Google
him.
it.
Google him. Look at this. You seeing this?
Yeah,
When you look at these
I,
pictures, what do you think? What do you think when you see these
I,
pictures?
I like the middle guy.
You like the middle guy? He's probably the happiest.
No, actually, strangely enough, he's not the happiest. I think the guy who's happiest is on the left. That was the happiest time.
अच्छा मेरे को
हाँ,
जरा बताओ एंड
हम्म,
हिंदी में ही हम ज्यादा बात करेंगे आज पर वैसे
अच्छा
ये सबसे लेफ्ट वाला और ये मिडिल वाले में फर्क क्या है मतलब ये कब बिफोर द फिल्म देन द फिल्म इज लाइक
नहीं,
दैट
जब ट्रेनिंग शुरू हुई और पहला जो लुक अचीव करना था,
हाँ
वो मतलब जो मैं दुबला टाइप ही रहता हूँ, तो उसी में तो
हम्म
लीन मसल बनाना था एंड नीडेड टू लुक रिप्ड.
हाँ
तो जो पहला वाला आप देख रहे हैं अबाउट 69-70 kgs इज द
ओके
फर्स्ट वन.
ओके
उसके बाद वी नीडेड टू लेट इट ऑल गो, पुट ऑन एज मच वेट एज पॉसिबल.
हाँ
तो उसके लिए मतलब ऑनेस्टली कहूंगा, मतलब बिकॉज इन लाइफ आई हैव ट्राइड टू कीप माई सेल्फ फिट फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ इट.
यस
So to push myself, or for my trainers to push me, adjust my diet, train harder. I mean, as demanding as it somehow is not as difficult for me to wrap my head around.
ओके
To let things go.
हम्म
कि मतलब अभी एक्सरसाइज थोड़ी बहुत करनी है, हैवी
हम्म
करनी है बहुत. खाना कुछ 4,000 कैलोरी खाना है रोज.
वो हम
तो या
जाएंगे उसमें क्या खाते थे बट हाँ
हाँ,
गो
तो
ऑन
so
हाँ
in a calorie surplus, lifting really heavy weight, only 3 reps, 4 reps,
हम्म
really heavy weight. Um, and yeah, just the trick eventually was that I didn't have a choice. I had to like start drinking beer, and so I could get a nice big beer belly, and that was it. And that's how I reached there.
And then if you look at the one on the right, where I can totally see from the first to the right, both are ripped, but that the
Yeah,
one on the right, like the shoulders are like, you know,
the size is bigger. Yeah, it's about five
yeah.
kgs heavier.
तो ये कैसे हो रहा है?
हाँ, मतलब ये सब अभी ये चेतन, ये साइंस हो चुका है. ये हमारे बस की बात नहीं रही अब.
Oh
अब
really?
लोग आते हैं और हाँ, नहीं सीरियसली, लोग आते हैं, ट्रेनर्स आते हैं, न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट आते हैं, दे कैन ब्रेक एवरीथिंग डाउन. कि आप कैसे दिखना चाहते हो, कैसा रिजल्ट चाहते हो. दे स्टडी यू, दे यू डू योर टेस्ट. आई हैड टू डू अ ब्लड टेस्ट, आई हैड टू डू ऑल दी स्ट्रेस टेस्ट, एवरीथिंग बिफोर,
Yeah.
ताकि दे नो हाउ मच दे कैन पुश. And that was a constant, and you just have to trust those people because that's what they do for a living, and I was उनके भरोसे में करता गया, and these are the results we wanted and we got them.
फरहान दिखना सब ऐसे चाहते हैं, ओके, राइट वाला लेफ्ट वाला इनमें से कोई, एंड यू आर सेइंग कि साइंस भी आ चुकी है, तो कर क्यों नहीं पाते लोग?
सब दिमाग का खेल है. That's basically it.
मतलब
You should want it really badly. That's basically it's all. I mean,
हाउ
I'm sure
बैडली आर वी
people believe,
टॉकिंग?
people believe in manifestation, ना. लोग
हम्म
बात करते हैं ना कि मैं सोचता हूँ कि यार 5 साल में मेरी जिंदगी वहां होगी.
हम्म
They think of job, they think of bank account, they think of house, they
हम्म
think of this. People, there's some who think of their body. कि मैं चाहता हूँ कि 1 साल में, 1.5 साल में मेरी बॉडी ऐसी हो जाए. And you're not going to get that job, you're not going to get that house, you're not going to get that bank balance unless you work for it. It's exactly the same thing.
Now let me tell people, my connection with Farhan goes very back, long back. In fact, Farhan is a very positive influence on my life. Farhan gave birth and introduced me to Abhishek Kapoor, because of which the movie Kai Poche happened, because of which Sushant got his first break, because of which I managed to do a film. After Three Idiots, it was a very strange time for me, and as well as comparisons with Three Idiots. And I think to do that, and Farhan and I have known each other for a long time. So I know that you've always been, and I think लोगों को भी अब दिख ही रहा होगा कि you're very driven and very committed kind of person, which is the quality everybody wants. So what I often wonder in, because I have my own kids, and लोगों को लगता है यार motivation नहीं आ रहा है, motivation नहीं आता है motivation. And
Hmm.
for someone like you who's already like materially you are okay to how do you keep so much motivation? I mean, you are also, you like you said, you're mid 40s when you were trying this.
Yeah.
This time लोग कहते हैं यार हमारी तो body चरमरा रही है, like it's not I'm not the same me. And
हाँ.
so to tell me a little bit about that, like how and
You know, if I trace it back,
hmm,
अगर मैं सोचूं कि ये क्यों ऐसा है, कहाँ से आता है, the only thing that I can think of
hmm,
is there were, जब मैं अपने लेट टीन्स में था, गोइंग इन टू माई अर्ली 20s, किसी को मुझसे कोई उम्मीद नहीं थी.
hmm.
मतलब मैं कॉलेज
Let's
से.
go even little before. So when you were a kid, okay, since we are going back, sorry. And like, guys, this is not an interview. This is just two friends talking. So tell me about your, say, 10 to 20 phase also. What kind of a child were you? Were you shy, introverted, extroverted?
uh, I was shy in public for sure,
Hmm.
but at home I used to constantly be up to something.
Okay.
And again, I was very, very influenced by movies, like most kids are.
Hmm.
At that time we had our own Superman, Spider-Man, and
Hmm.
all that stuff that we used to be able to watch. Star Wars, um, and the Bachchan films. And I used to be very, very influenced by all of it. I used to have
But
a
your parents
complete
never said कि यार तुम पढ़ो बैठ के अभी या डॉक्टर बनो
नहीं, नहीं,
इंजीनियर
नहीं, no, no, not doctor bano, engineer bano, but for dad especially, he
बनो.
wanted both Zoya and me to be graduates. He felt that that was an important thing in life, that you always have something that you have finished,
Hmm.
that you started something and you finished it. He said for that reason you should see it through. कि मतलब आपने कुछ choose किया है, you should see it through.
Yes.
ये कुछ choose करके half में निकल जाना is not a good attitude in life.
Hmm.
So Zoya finished it, I didn't.
Okay.
Right? I dropped out. And
Why did you
there
drop out?
was, यार मुझसे बहुत बड़ी गलती होगी कि मैं कॉमर्स प्रोग्राम में चला
Okay. What exactly was it? So that some
गया.
people can know.
जब स्कूल खत्म हुआ तो सारे जो दोस्त थे
Hmm.
उनके फैमिली बिजनेसेस थे. वेरी none of them were in from the creative field.
Yeah.
They had family businesses, whatever else that they were doing. तो सभी ने, पेरेंट्स मस्ट हैव सेड एंड दे मस्ट हैव थॉट कि अगर मैं कॉमर्स करूंगा, लर्न इकोनॉमिक्स, अकाउंटिंग, एसपी, मैथ, ये सारी चीजें मैं सीखूंगा लाइफ में या सीखूंगी लाइफ में, तो मेरे लिए भी बेहतर होगा जब मैं ऑफिस जाके फादर्स ऑफिस या मदर्स ऑफिस संभालूंगा, तो इट बी गुड फॉर मी. तो ऑल ऑफ देम वर गोइंग इनटू अ कॉमर्स प्रोग्राम, कॉमर्स डिग्री. आई वाज टोटली कंफ्यूज्ड. आई हैड नो आइडिया वेयर आई वांटेड टू गो.
Hmm.
एंड मुझे लगा कि सारे मेरे दोस्त जा रहे हैं कॉमर्स में, तो मुझे भी कॉमर्स पे जाना चाहिए. इफ नथिंग एल्स, एटलीस्ट वील हैव कंपनी ऑफ ईच
Okay.
अदर.
I often say कि देखो सपना तो देखना ही पड़ेगा. And there is,
हाँ, बिल्कुल सही बात है.
if you don't see
बिल्कुल,
the
बिल्कुल.
sapna, if you don't see your dream, they one day I'll make it big. It shouldn't be delusional. It shouldn't be arrogance. But
हम्म,
you, there are, I have seen hundreds of ads, and of course you had some people in the industry you knew, but there are many people like that. And I always feel like it's one thing to get a break for acting, but to write and to direct, there is
हम्म.
no privilege that really takes you that far there, because वो
या,
5 मिनट में expose हो जाता है.
बिल्कुल,
वो
बिल्कुल सही.
काम आता है उसके
हम्म,
बहुत, it's a very highly skilled kind of job, and if you don't
हम्म,
know it, you don't know it. So I was
हम्म.
just wondering at that time in 7th AD, 8th AD, were you just like, I'm happy to कि भाई college नहीं जाना पड़ रहा, or was it no, this is all going to add up to something one day. I may be 7th AD or I may be waking up the actors today, but एक दिन this is a stepping stone to something.
नहीं, एक चीज जो मेरे माइंड में क्लियर थी कि मैं कभी ना कभी फिल्म बनाऊंगा. दैट वाज क्लियर. दैट वाज क्लियर इन माय हेड. एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस दैट वाज हैपनिंग, मैं फिल्म स्कूल नहीं गया था. आई डिडंट नो एनीथिंग एल्स अबाउट हाउ टू लर्न अबाउट मूवी मेकिंग. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस वाज स्कूल फॉर मी.
Hmm.
All this became school. I must give a lot of credit to Pankaj Parashar ji here, क्योंकि he was very open here. He allowed me to go to him with ideas on a scene. He
Hmm.
allowed me to go and speak to him about, like, why don't we take this shot? I found a really nice spot. We can look down from there. All that kind of stuff. So he gave a lot of like freedom, for you to be able to
And
at least come and speak to him. वो करे ना करे अलग बात है. But he never put you in a place कि मैं जाके अपनी जो एक idea आ गया है, या there's a spark in my head that I can't share it
yeah.
with someone. So that was very, very beneficial.
And I always say this in not just this industry, in any industry, a lot of
Mm,
50% is talent, or I don't know, you
mm,
can assign a percentage or not, but 50% is things what leads to success in life has
Hmm.
nothing to do with talent.
Hmm.
Like discipline. Discipline is not
100%.
talent. But
I agree with you.
if you're a cricketer, or if you're a great coder for a computer, or a writer or a director, or a bodybuilder even,
Yeah.
you don't have discipline, it's not going to happen. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and a
I
less
agree.
talented person with tremendous discipline will make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. This is when we were learning, when we were training for Tufan. So Drew Neal, who was the first coach that I worked with. So he told me, he's like, natural ability in boxing will take you far, but it can only take you that far.
Hmm.
Natural ability mixed with discipline will make you a champion.
For a youngster who says कि सर
Hmm.
ambition है मेरे में,
Hmm.
सीखना है, लेकिन डिसिप्लिन नहीं आ रहा है, बार बार मेरा मन करता है काम करने का, बट then I'm like, okay, let me just watch Instagram for half an hour more, let me just do time pass on this
Hmm.
Facebook for half an hour. What do you tell them?
I mean, the only thing you can is you have to dig your heels deep in. Yeah,
It's
there
not
is no.
easy. There is
No,
no.
it's not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you want to get good at something, firstly choose what you love.
Hmm.
ऐसे मत करो कि यार मैंने किसी की लाइफ देखी है, वो बहुत अच्छी लग रही है, तो मुझे भी वो चाहिए.
Hmm.
You will fall short because your heart is not in it. When your heart is not in something, the discipline doesn't follow.
That's so
वो
true.
नहीं होने वाला है. तो your heart firstly has to be in it. आपको संगीत सीखनी है, गायकी सीखनी है, स्पोर्ट सीखना है, बिजनेस में कुछ करना है, एथलीट बनना है, राइटर बनना है, पेंटर बनना है. You have to be true to that first.
I'll tell you something which I have not told anyone. There is a connection between you and me then. That is around the time I was trying to get my book published. And it was just not getting published. Nobody was publishing it, 5 point someone. And I
Right.
said, ये क्या है, कौन करेगा, ये क्या, ये three friends की story है. And then this movie became big. And then I could cite in the meeting and I said, दिल चाहता है नहीं चली, दिल चाहता चली ना, तो ये भी चल सकती है. And that's when one of the publishers bit the bullet and published the book. So
Wow.
if Dil Chahta Hai wasn't there, 5 point someone would not have been there. If 5 point someone would not have been there, 3 idiots wouldn't have been there, and I wouldn't be sitting with you here. So our connection that time, of course, we didn't know each
How
other,
interesting.
but that is it. It just, I know that was the deal clincher. I said this and this. That means friendship stories are possible. The same objections were there to that, and they're like, "Ye kya hai?" Because again, my book was also not the Indian literature. Mine was the other issue.
Yeah.
You were dealing with a mass masala cinema mein, a more sophisticated kind of story. And for me, I was trying to get my book published where it's only literary, Salman Rushdie, Seth, Arundhati Roy. So what is this story of three friends? So then I connected it somehow. And in fact, one of the reviews also said that this book is the Dil Chahta Hai of literature.
Really?
And we put it on the
Wow.
back cover in the first edition of 5.7 because we just needed any credibility. So,
Yeah,
and I was trying to go to that audience. So we go back then.
yeah.
But I want to talk to you something else. That was a hit. Everybody knows this. And then you started your journey of filmmaking and whatever. When was the first big failure?
The first big failure, I think
Which
probably,
you felt, not so much the trade and all, which you felt gut.
yeah. I think probably would be, I mean, it was related to box office. I didn't think of it as a creative failure, but was box office because it somehow, as time progressed, box office became the defining
Measure.
kind of measure for what is considered a successful film. And it was a lesson that I learned from that, which I'll share with you. So when Laksh released, firstly on Laksh, that was I mean, now we've spoken about, my years in college and this and that and the other and whatever I may have done. Dil Chahta Hai also film. I mean, of course, you work hard to make anything. I worked hard to make Dil Chahta Hai, but it was still a film that was an easy breezy film. You're in working with friends and it's a good location and the mood of the scenes also for more often than not is kind of up and it's fun to do on set. So everybody's mood on set is bright. Laksh was a difficult film to do. You're dealing with the army, you're dealing, of course, with India-Pakistan narrative, you're dealing with war, you're dealing with the loss of life. So it comes with another kind of weight, it comes with another responsibility. Also, it was a world that I was very unfamiliar with, of the world of the armed forces. So I had to educate myself in that. And then shoot for 5 months in Ladakh for that film. When that film was done, in terms of the making of that film and the shooting of the film and everything was done, I had never worked so hard in my life on anything like I worked on that film.
Yeah. Then
And a
I think
part,
you must have worked really hard, because you said 5 hours in the gym was easy. So that your
yeah,
so
sure.
your definition, that
Uh,
must have been really, like, you must have,
yeah.
no, that I, in fact, that was my question, even with the Tufan or anything, like when you put so much into it, you will get emotionally invested. And when it
100%.
doesn't go as planned, or it
Hmm.
leads to disappointment, failure, whatever,
Hmm.
and I am going to pull that out of you, so that that's what a lot of people feel. Failure
Hmm.
comes in life, so it has come to
Hmm.
you, and you've
Yeah.
processed it and moved ahead and still created more after that. What has been the, if you were to say, the happiest moment of your life, and what has been the saddest moment of your life so far?
Well, happiest I think undoubtedly is the birth of my daughters. Undoubtedly, I mean, I don't think I've ever been happier. And what has been the most?
Saddest moment,
The
saddest
most
time or
sad.
phase, or they may not be a moment, it could be a phase.
Um, yeah, I mean, this is a tough one to answer because um, it comes in different ways. Sorrow comes in different ways.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, happiness you can be quite definite about that this thing made me happy, but sorrow you feel in different ways. Yeah. So it's tough to say. I don't think. I mean, if I just have to say, I don't think I've been um, that any film has made me the saddest that I've ever been. Let me maybe
Okay.
like say it like that.
Even the
Like no,
demonetization rock on to, it was not like.
no, I was sad, but I don't think it's the saddest I've ever felt.
Okay.
No, it didn't do that. Like even like I said, like I was carrying that sorrow of Laksh around for a long time, and it was there for long,
Mhm.
but it's not the saddest that I've ever been.
Mhm.
I don't think so. I won't say that. No.
So work, okay. And one of the things, when you are very busy, and one of the byproducts of success, you can say, for anyone, and you are successful in a lot of ways, is work-life balance. That becomes very tricky, because you said, "Wo
Hmm.
kaam karo what you love." You said it many times today.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you love your work, you want to do more of what you love. And then
Yeah.
how do you do a balance? And have you had to sacrifice something for this? Your family life somewhere, or personal life, or friends, or something? Because this is crazy, like the kind of
Hmm.
regimens you put yourself through, your
Yeah.
company production,
Yeah.
direction,
See,
right?
the thing is, I feel any relationship in life, be it with family, be it with friends, be it with your partner, um, I'll keep children slightly aside from this,
Mhm.
but because you're talking about adults who are not dependent on you
Mhm.
for at least for their life. I mean, your children are on a huge level till they become adults and
Yeah.
can go out into the world and do their own thing. But with them, I the fact is it is important, like you respect what they do,
Mhm.
and that you respect the time that they need to go to their office or the time that they need to have their meeting. I think the fact is that there is a part of you that thinks or hopes or wants them to be understanding when you need to go off and do something.
Mhm.
So if like for example on Tufan, if because if I'm there for 18 months, everyone's birthday has come and gone once. Some people have even had their birthday twice,
Yes.
in that 18 months. And I have called them and wished them, if there was something in the day that I could go and meet them, I would go and meet them. But if it was a night plan, I wouldn't go. And a part of me just expects them to understand it, because I expect them to know how I function in my work.
Mm.
And the ones who don't, are they really my friends? I don't know. You
Mm.
know, because if I invited someone over, or if I and they said that, listen, I can't come because I have to work really early tomorrow,
Mhm.
I'd absolutely understand it, and my feelings for that person would not change.
Mhm.
So, you just have the same expectation in return. And if that doesn't happen, then it makes you wonder, like, this equation is not right to start with only in the first place.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
What is it for you now? Because you've kind of like done it. Like you've been a star yourself. You've directed stars. You have your own band. You're literally rock star. Like, as not only figuratively, you're literally one. Um, and you can do physical crazy transformation in your mid 40s. You've had a six pack in your 40s and many times over. What is it about for
Yeah,
you?
this six pack is a hyped thing. I have to tell you that, seriously.
I hope it is, because I'm not getting that.
Honestly, it is.
Really?
I mean, of course, it is. See, it
Let's
is
talk
tough to
about it.
do.
Yes, let's talk about the
You
six.
know,
Yes.
yeah. The thing, I feel so much importance is given to it. Like even in interviews that you're doing for the film, you'll be asked, "Sir, so do you still have your six pack?" It's. But the thing is that fitness is not defined by a six pack.
Hmm.
It really isn't. You know,
Six packs is the box office of a film.
yeah, correct. Six pack is the
The
box
box office.
of the
ये
film.
सब कुछ था sir. Six pack नहीं आया. You might have climbed
Huh.
Everest, but six pack नहीं. And I think it's come to do with the external visible success versus
Yeah,
the real internal success. Sometimes you can have a big box office and you may know that there were flaws in the screenplay. You may know
correct.
कि ये ठीक नहीं बनी, but
Hmm.
निकल गई अभी ठीक है. But
Huh.
but it
Correct.
was not my best. It was not my best. And but the external measure is box office. So I think six pack has become key. You can post it on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even think girls care so much about six pack. Like they
I
say,
I
it's
I
not
don't
like you have
know.
a six pack that the girls are going to come
I
running after you.
हाँ नहीं, or use a certain kind of spray. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता life में.
Imagine that factory then that is happening in that factory.
No, but the thing is that, and I mean, just coming back to it, like everything else in life,
Hmm.
if a six pack is your thing,
Hmm.
you can get it. Anybody can get a six pack.
What do you need to sacrifice for it?
I mean, see, unless you have some kind of a medical condition
Uh-huh.
that doesn't allow you to lose weight. You know what I mean? You're struggling
Ah.
with things like people have hormone issues and thyroid issues, and
Those are
you
medical
know,
conditions separate. Yeah.
or maybe that. So keeping those things aside, I'm talking about people who have a healthy, functioning body. For those people to say that I can't, firstly, that I can't only is a wrong place to start. Telling yourself only, being negative about yourself,
Hmm.
saying that I can't do something
Hmm.
is not the right premise to begin something with.
Hmm.
Let other people say you can't. That's totally fine. Other people saying you can't is great fuel. I have done, I think, the best things in my life when people have told me you can't do it.
What did they say you can't do?
No, for example, uh, there was a slight murmur before Bhag Milka Bhag, कि यार, why you are not taking a Punjabi actor to play Milkha Singh?
Okay.
हाँ, ये कैसे करेगा? So for me, it's like the feeling. I'm talking about subtext, no?
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like he can't.
Hmm.
That's the feeling you're getting. Okay, now this decision has to be proved correct. Okay, why did Rakesh take Farhan and not take
Yes.
X and Y Singh or X and Y Kapoor or X? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Punjabi actor. So for me, anytime there is negativity from the outside, I find it amazing.
Okay.
I actually use that to it gives me so much focus and it gives me so much fuel.
Wow.
That I absolutely love.
Well, that's a really good tip, because people, it's fuel. What you're saying is motivational fuel. In fact,
Yeah.
people get burnt by it, by people's. जब लोग बोलते हैं आप ये नहीं कर सकते, वो नहीं कर सकते, इसके बस का नहीं, or like especially the ताने or the subtext, like you said, the
Yeah.
look, the taunts, and
Yeah.
if you can just kind of not let it burn you, but somehow turn it into fuel to.
You absolutely have to. See, the thing is that not every single, and especially when you're in a public,
Yes.
your work is in the public arena, and everybody will have a comment. Whose comment are you going to listen to here? You have to only listen. You only have yourself to rely on. I mean, of course, and a close coterie of people who really, really care about you. And even if they are saying something is not right with you or something that you're doing is wrong, you know that it's coming from a place of hoping that you will improve yourself.
Yeah.
It's not to put you down.
Yes.
right? So those people aside, anything that comes from there is, you have to take it in your stride or with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
Like the praise feels great when it comes, but you can't expect it to come all the time,
Yeah.
because if you do, you'll be disappointed when it doesn't,
Yes. Yes.
you know. And people who are hating on you, I mean, they'll hate you today, tomorrow they'll hate somebody else. They're trolling you now because your film is out, tomorrow they'll troll somebody else, their film is out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you can't take those people seriously. They are doing what they will do.
What is life, meaning of life for you now?
Um, I don't know. I feel a part of me is still, I don't know. I'm still chasing a dream. Yeah, I feel, to kind of be better at what I do.
Mm.
I really think that's what it is. I just keep my fingers crossed that things come along that challenge, because it would be really sad to have to say yes to work that is not exciting you.
Yeah.
That's my biggest nightmare. That to ever be in a place where I'll have to say yes to something because that's all I'm getting. You know, that scares me to my DNA. It
Oh,
scares
really?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to keep getting challenged, I think is crucial. And yeah, and I mean, if in any way, while retaining the, I guess the crux of who you are as a creative person,
Mhm.
retaining that to hopefully keep reinventing myself. That is important
Which
to.
is the biggest motivator? Because I know it's not money for you. I know that for a fact.
Hmm.
Money is not your motivator. So what is it? Just new horizons, new frontiers, new challenges, just
No,
something.
that is 100% what, and to give people memorable experiences.
Hmm.
That to me is a big thing. That when you watch something that we've produced, that I direct or that I'm acting in, or when you come for my concert, I want it to be memorable.
Yeah.
That to me is a big thing.
Well, we still remember Dil Chahta Hai. We remember Lakshay. And this picture, I am going running right after this. So I am
All right.
definitely, I am going to do my run today in the botanical gardens here, which is beautiful.
Lovely.
Thank you so much, Farhan, for
Oh,
giving
thank you,
your time. We
Chetan. What
could
a
go
pleasure.
on and on. पता ही नहीं लगा कैसे more than 1.5 hours passed. Thank you so much. Any last thing you'd like to say to young people to motivate them, those who are feeling यार कुछ हो नहीं रहा life में या what
um, well, I mean, if anything, and I guess what I've learned is that all of us have an inherent understanding of what it is that we want to do with our lives. All of us have an inherent understanding. We tend to maybe be embarrassed about it, sometimes scared that it might be too difficult. Sometimes maybe ashamed. Who knows? Depending on who you are and what part of the world you're in. But we know what we want, and I feel it is very important to be true to ourselves.
yeah.
And if you can be true to yourself, and if you can just say, dude, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, you will find yourself in an amazing place to start from.
That's great.
And I think that's
I think
basically
I forget young people. I'm taking that lesson, going running after this. Thank you so much, Farhan,
it.
for
Thank you, Chetan.
joining and stay in touch. Thank you.
All right, man, stay safe.